12B. Question 12B, our final question on alkenes. Question B tells us that alkenes are a homologous series of separated hydrocarbons and can exist as the isomers. Then part A asks us to define the term homologous series and isomers. A homologous series is a family of compounds with the same general formula, similar chemical properties, and which differ from one member to the next by CH2 unit, showing a gradual change in the physical properties such as boiling point. Isomers are compounds that have the same molecular formula but different structure arrangement of their atoms. So that's the definition there. Isomers are compounds that have the same molecular formula but different structure arrangement of their atoms. Then moving on to question B. Section B asks us to draw any two structures of isomers of pentane, which is C5H12. So pentane has three possible isomers, but we only need two. The first is a normal pentane, a straight chain of 5 carbon atoms, each bonded to each hydrogen atoms to satisfy their 4 bonds per carbon. So for we know that carbon to be stable, it needs 4 bonds. The second could be 2 methane butane, 2-methane butane, which is a 4 carbon chain with 1 methyl branch coming off the second carbon. When drawing these, make sure every carbon atom shows 4 bonds in total, whether to hydrogen or to neighboring carbons. Then part C is about the fractional distillation of crude oil, shown in the diagram with the fractional fractionating tower, where crude oil enters the bottle, heated above the 400 degrees Celsius, and the different fractions are collected at different heights, labeled as the gas, petrol, paraffin, substance X, evaporating oil, wax, and substance Y at the very bottom. Then part C1 asks us to name the substances collected at X and the Y. Looking at the position in the tower between paraffin, replicate, and the replicating oil, substance X is diesel. So substance X is what? Diesel, sometimes called gassy oil. And substance Y collected at the very bottom below wax is bitumen, sometimes called residue. Sometimes it's called what? Residue. Then part C2 asks us for one use of substance Y. Butane is commonly used for surfacing roads or roofing materials. Then we're going to question D1. Question D1 asks what we understand by the term cracking. What do we understand by the term cracking? So cracking is a process of breaking down large hydrocarbon molecules into smaller, more useful molecules using the heat and sometimes a catalyst. So that is what cracking is. Then question 2, D2 shows us that 1-octane COH18 is obtained alongside propane in the cracking process as the only products, and access to construct an equation for this process, including the condition. Let's work this out step by step. We need to figure out what large hydrocarbon breaks down into octane and propane. We add the carbon atoms together. Octane has 8 carbons and propane C3H6 has 3 carbons, giving a total of 11 carbons. So the starting hydrocarbon must have 11 carbons. For a saturated alkane with 11 carbons, the formula would be C11H24, following the general formula for alkanes. Let's check the hydrogen balance. Octane is this C8H18 and propane is C360H6. Adding these together gives us 18 plus 6, 8 18 plus 6, which is 24 hydrogen matching the C11 and H24 exactly. So the equation is C11 H24 gives us C8 H18 plus C3 H6. The conditions for this cracking process are heat and the presence of a catalyst. So you write the above R. So you need to write it about the arrow, the catalyst and the heat about the arrow. That brings us to the end of question B12. final question. We have 10 marks. And that completes our full workflow of the chemistry 5070 paper 2, covering section A and 4 questions from section B. Make sure you go back over every section that felt tricky, especially the calculation questions and the equation building steps, since those are where most marks tend to slip away in exams. Keep practicing and you get more confident with every paper you work through. This was your tutor, Robert Mtare. I hope you have learned one or two things. If you have do so, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. I would love to know which paper you want me to do or which question I should do. Make a video or just leave a comment there indicating the question number and the year, where the question came from. Then I'll be able to help you with it passionately. Or if you can go further, you can WhatsApp me on the number 0968032811, where we do our online teachings, whereby we go deep in this topic, not just answering past papers, but we go deep. We teach the entire topic, then we answer past papers, so you solidify your standing on each. No, at Mtale TV online tuitions, time is very cardinal. Time is very cardinal, so we don't waste time on Mtale TV. We only teach what comes in the exam, which is in the syllabus. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you haven't liked, please like. If you haven't comment, please comment. If you haven't joined our online tuitions, please join our online tuitions. This is Robert Mtare, your tutor. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.